Okay, so my idea is to have a a small park in the corner of uh, between Depot Street and Center Hill Road. Just for reference, this is Depot Street, and then that circle is Center Hill Road. My plan is to have the trees cleared in the two red circles there, but leave a line of trees going through this side, just a small line of trees, and and then have a T-shaped park, a T-shaped path in the park area. Um, the material is yet to be determined, and then that's the power station over there with the trees that we were going to keep, the line of trees, and with enough room in between the power station and the trees, have a truck be able to pass on through.
I'm going to just interrupt for a second, Charlie, because we've got some noise bleeding in. I think, Jan, it's coming from your, because the highlight keeps going to your image. If you would just mute, for some reason it's interrupting Charlie's presentation. Thank you.
Okay.
It's good now. Okay, thank you very much.
Would you like me to back up to any particular spot? You're muted.
Thank you. What I started to say was, no, we could hear what you were saying, but there was definitely something bleeding in and causing a little interference.
Okay. So the plan is then to have a couple benches along the path, as well as a sign, as a welcome sign for the people entering Manchester, because it's a good entry point into the Manchester Center area. And that is the entire plan. That's pretty much it.
Has there been conversations with Green Mountain Power as to whether they're supportive of the idea?
Yeah. Charlie, you want me to answer that?
Yes, please.
So we met with Mike Bernard, who's the local agent of Green Mountain Power, and he has put it up to their legal office as far as drafting up a easement for the town. He also suggested that obviously because it's so close to power lines that Green Mountain Power would take down the trees that were necessary to take down. We went through the trees. I think we'd want to get maybe somebody in there like Steve Casey to look at them, but a lot of the trees in the front are either not great trees, they're dying, or they're just scrubby trees. The area is pretty big. It's about, Charlie, what did we say, about 5,000 square feet? It's pretty large. So right now we're just waiting on Green Mountain Power. I did give them a heads up that we're going to talk about it tonight, but we're waiting to hear back from Green Mountain Power. But it sounds like at the local level they're supportive, but it's up at corporate
now. Charlie, would you consider, when you have more details on what the path will be constructed of and what the benches will be, presenting it to the Manchester Design Advisory Committee?
Yeah, something.
And also the sign. Is the sign something you're going to be working on, or is it something the town is going to provide you?
The sign is something that I will be working on.
Yeah. So, do you think, John? Do you think that's a good idea to run it by the DAC?
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I think it'd be a good experience for Charlie too.
Okay.
So once we get the details of it, I think my suggestion would be, obviously deferring to Ivan on the board, but that maybe the select board provide the big broad strokes as far as giving it a thumbs up and a thumbs down, and then probably the design advisory committee would be the better one to deal with the details of the design.
And what's the projected time schedule for accomplishing this?
Charlie, you've got some timelines in there too, as far as hitting 18 and everything like that? So what's Charlie, what's your timeline look like as far as the backstop?
I haven't really thought of that too much right now. Some of the things are still being planned out. So I'm not entirely too sure, but I want to do it as efficiently as possible, so it won't get dragged on for too long.
And when you say not dragged on for too long, I wasn't looking for a very specific time frame. I was looking more like this summer, before the end of the summer.
Okay.
Ivan, that was the goal that Charlie and I had talked about in kind of planning this, was to try to do, so much right now is just, of life is up in the air. But we had talked about, before all the COVID stuff, about trying to do his Eagle project this summer.
Understood. And that's a good point about any kind of construction project now is subject to whatever happens in an unforeseen manner. So hopefully things will start happening. Our governor has allowed construction projects, the size of the crews that are working on projects, to increase, so therefore the size of the projects are increasing, and we won't know what the effect of that is as businesses start to reopen, as people start to do these sorts of things. Of course, there's very stringent guidelines in place as to how that all will unfold, but I've witnessed already that people just can't follow a course of action. I mean, it drives me insane that something as simple as a request that people wear masks. I was in the post office today, and maybe 75% of the people were wearing masks. It's
challenging.
It boggles
it's a challenging time. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask Charlie a question?
Yes.
Charlie, this is an Eagle Scout project. So beyond the work that needs to be done, what is is this the last thing you have to do to achieve your Eagle Scout rank?
No, it is not. I have a few merit badges I have to complete, but just I think like three or four merit badges that most of them are already almost completed. So other than those, this is basically the last thing I have to get done.
So is this something you would hope to wrap up, hopefully before, assuming school comes back in before September, before school starts again? Is that your plan generally?
Yeah, it was before COVID, of course.
All right. Seems like that seems doable as far as we know. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Charlie can talk a little bit more about it, but he actually has already gotten some fundraising support. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Charlie? Because that's usually an element of the Eagle Scout project too.
Yep. A couple did contribute some fundraising. I don't think it's gonna cover everything, so I think more fundraising is needed. As well as some other things.
Charlie, do you remember how much that initial pledge was?
No, I do not.
John, do you remember?
Yeah, it was 5,000.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty good start.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. And I have a distinct feeling that Charlie will probably hit up his dad for a pledge as well. So.
Oh yeah, you bet you.
I don't know if you know, Charlie, but the town has a downtown plan that was approved a couple years ago, I think now. Has it been 2 years already, Tina? But it includes some, it includes a lot of talk about that site because it is a sort of gateway site to the downtown. Todd would remember too, but it's very much a site that is, the Planning Commission certainly targeted for some improvements. And, you might want to, I'll send you via your dad a copy of the downtown plan so you can look at it. And, you know, as a plan, it doesn't mean that what the plan is, what is written exactly in the plan is what needs to happen. It's just sort of a starting point for a conversation about how to better that site, how to make it more presentable to people coming into Manchester.